my side. A beautiful Friday. Literally, I hope you guys have had a beautiful weekend. Of course, ready for the weekend. Literally, our last day right here in the studio. We're gonna be meeting next in 2026. But I hope the year has been fantastic for you who has been listening to us on YouTube, BitChute, on Rumble. We're no longer on Rumble, and for those who have been also with us also on the radio station on all our streaming platform, I hope 2025 has made, or literally Black Hot Fire has made a positive impact on your life, either informative wise, whether by keeping you laughing, because we also have amazing interactive fun shows right there, of course, joined by Mr. Black Fire, makes it super super fun. And I hope you've also learned something and you are literally updated with everything that is happening globally, and you've been fed the right information that you wish to literally listen. Karibuni sana once again. My name is Joby, and welcome to the Pan African Bliss right here on this amazing media of the 21st century, as we talk about Nigeria, which is our conversation for today. Where we saw yesterday, Nigeria did go ahead to actually issue a formal apology to Burkina Faso over the airspace violation. And we're going to be talking about this as we look at, let's not forget that actually we had Nigeria just getting aircraft literally from the US, and we talked about it. So you're going to issue an apology while you're receiving actually weapons that are supposed to destabilize a country. It's not even making sense, but that's our top of conversation for today. We're going to be looking at that as we literally reflect also to the videos where we saw some of the African leaders, including Nana Akufo-Addo, who had gone to actually ask for ways and help in France, how they can actually help France destabilize Burkina Faso. And along that, we're going to be talking about what is also happening in other countries. I have a video talking about how Kenya actually is not only can no longer literally borrow right now because we reached a borrowing limit. That was this particular week. We're looking at actually how Kenya is going to have negotiations with the SGR Chinese loans, and this actually is looking forward to be extended till 2040. And we're going to be looking at this because so much money. When we talk about African countries paying loans in interest, we're going to be talking about that. So much money is flown outside. There's no development that actually we've made as a country. It's really, really shameful to say that we're paying this amount of money, yet there's nothing actually we've done ourselves as the people. But karibuni sana, this is our top conversation for today. And a quick reminder, as always, get yourself amazing organic supplements. For me, I'd love to share some brain and focus for critical thinking because it's very important. It's very important. But get yourself also some beetroot, some multivitamin, ashwagandha, and so much more under the BHFN Sports Pitch. We're going to be back after this.
Unlock your full potential with Brain and Focus, a powerful supplement designed to boost mental clarity, enhance memory, and sharpen concentration. Made from a blend of scientifically proven ingredients like ginkgo biloba, omega-3, and essential vitamins, Brain and Focus is crafted to fuel your mind. Our process ensures maximum potency and effectiveness, delivering the perfect balance of brain-boosting nutrients. Take just one capsule daily, as prescribed by your healthcare provider, and feel the difference. Whether it's powering through your workday or staying sharp in life's challenges, Brain and Focus keeps you at the top of your game. Stay sharp, stay focused, and stay ahead with Brain and Focus. Brain and Focus, fuel your mind, achieve more. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
Remember, in case you have any questions or facing any difficulties as you purchase, you can easily email us at kcnewsam15@gmail.com. But as we get started, we're going to start with what is happening in Kenya. And before I'm going to start with that, then share the Wangari Maathai's video. We saw this week that actually Kenya reached a point where we can no longer borrow. We've reached literally a borrowing limit. And we've been talking about also how the country, and especially this regime, it's not like the previous regimes have not been stealing, but this regime has been stealing openly from people. But if you talk about, leave alone the taxation, stealing, because we have the taxes and we also have them pocketing the money that they're also borrowing. Who we are the ones, we the citizens who are the majority, we actually pay this money, and in a very big interest. I have a video that I'm going to share on that is talking about that. But looking at why I'm talking about this is because we have the Kenya renegotiating with SGR Chinese loans, and that this is actually supposed to be forwarded till the deadline is supposed to be 2040. They're saying that very quickly through the article. They're saying that Kenya has negotiated 3 Chinese loans used to finance the Standard Gauge Railway, extending the final repayment date from 2035 to 2040, and securing a new grace period of principal payments, and the National Treasury has confirmed. Under the revised terms, Kenya will receive a 4 to 5 year reprieve from principal repayments, easing short-term cash flow and pressure, and reducing quarterly debt servicing obligations. The loans have also been converted from the US dollars to Chinese yuan, and this is a move the Treasury officials say that will lower exposure to exchange rate volatility. And we've said whether yuan, whether whatever, these people, they don't care. You're still going to pay with an interest. Let's not forget about the interest. You're still going to pay with their interest. You're not paying back with the Kenyan currency. You're paying still back with the interest. It's the way they keep on lying to us. They think that this is the better, group or organization or country that can give you loans with less interest, while it's actually the same. It's all the same. I don't see the difference. They're saying that the Treasury estimates that the currency conversion will save Kenya about $15 million annually in interest-related costs, and reducing annual servicing expense for the 3 SGR loans from approximately 50 billion Kenyan shillings to 37 billion Kenyan shillings. The renegotiation comes as Kenya faces heightened debt pressure, with public debt exceeding 12 trillion Kenyan shillings, and international lenders, including the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, have urged the government to strengthen debt sustainability, which means for the taxes to be increased, measures, and limit the use of new finances to service existing obligation. The outstanding balance of the renegotiation loans stood at the 3.5 billion at the time of conversion, and making them a significant portion of Kenya's external debt portfolio. Analysis says that the deal is notable for being among the first instance of sovereign Chinese loan being converted from dollar to yuan, and a structure that could influence future debt negotiations in the region. The Treasury officials also say that the revised terms are part of a broader strategy to make debt costs while maintaining essential infrastructure investment. And mtu anasema kuinama na hesabu mbaya na bandi. Exactly, kuinama. We're about to suffer as Kenyans, because as much as this is being extended, I'm still worried, like I said, how is Kenya going to save itself?
Countries.
Correct. So listen to this video here. This is Wangari Maathai, one of the people who are trying to save was trying to save our country environment by planting trees, and preach the importance of not cutting down trees and planting trees. But they did that shit. They did that thing.
For every dollar that was being sent to these poor countries as aid, it was coming back as $4. Now, when will those people ever develop? They are indebted for life. They are literally slaves. And governments in the developed world kept saying, oh, we can't make any changes because these are banks, these are independent. So we were telling our governments, for goodness sake, if you can't pay, just tell them you can't pay, finished.
Can't do that because the deals have already been structured from the word go. We have to understand that. I keep on saying we have to go back to history again, which is very important. Understand the first terms and deals that were made when these countries were attaining the so-called independency. And if you look at these deals, majority of them is why Africa actually we are in debt. Go back to the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, literally the IMF to be specific, but the same organization, the terms that they made very clear. There's a time I did a whole show, the whole week, literally going all the way down for us to understand what the deals and the bracket African keeps itself when they get involved with this organization. And we saw one of the deals is actually privatization. If you can't pay this loan, which you have to pay with a higher interest and in their currency, the next move that they're going to do is privatize some of your assets. And if not possible, all of them. And sadly, Kenya, that's where we're headed. I remember actually there's a show Katie did. And the show actually was about how Kenya is about to introduce mandolin to NYS, National Youth Services, for them to start learning Mandarin, and this is going to also become a mandatory study in some of our schools and all that, because we're not able to pay the debt. Now, look at the period you're talking about. We're in 2025, right? And we're talking about us pushing this debt that we owe Chinese or China to 2040. We're not sure about our current president. He's talking about being here for 20 years. Possibility, according to how he's actually talking, possibility. But we're talking about in 2025, the deal has been pushed to 2040. So this is actually a negotiation that is being made on, how do I say, on a measuring scale. And this depends with the president who's going to be in power, if they are going to fulfill their terms. If Ruto is going to be the president still, he's going to have to fulfill these terms. But if there comes a new president, be sure the terms might change, whereby the country can still continue borrowing, because we go back. The country currently is under debt to the point we've reached our limit of borrowing. So how is Kenya going to revive itself from the debt? That's a question that is pending. And then we go back to more understanding of actually what is happening. So listen to these 3 videos, the top videos. Let me share this. Let me share my screen. Sorry about that. Let me share my...
That project under the Kibaki SGR has been a fraud of monumental proportions. I'm very familiar with this project called SGR. I initiated that project under the Kibaki regime. We started that project in 2008, and that project was simply a private project. It had no government money, and we wanted to do private investment of a line from Mombasa all the way to Malaba. Simply a private investment, no taxpayers' money. Our costing out of our feasibility study and our technical study came to 55 billion shillings, all the way from Mombasa to Malaba. I suddenly saw somebody parachuting a project that had become government under the Ruto government of just Mombasa to Naivasha, amounted to 500 billion shillings. So the cost of the project is 500 billion. Chinese Exim Bank.
So the initial budget was 55 billion Kenyan shillings. And I don't understand why they were supposed to privatize it, because I'm heavy on the private lines, private organizations still operating within the country, whether formed within or coming from outside. Because when he's talking about privatization, this is not also a good guy, as much as he tends to shed light to Kenyans about how our economy is being mismanaged. Actually, is one among the people who are looking forward to be vying for the presidential seat come 2027. So not a man to be trusted, but still speaks some facts at times. Now, privatization. We know the only private lines, if not lines, airstrip lines, or these kind of railways that are built in the country, if they're not for mineral extraction, I don't know what they are for. You go figure. Maybe you have something else to tell me, but I'd love to hear in the comment section. Because for me, I'm just wondering, why would we be having some politician, a group of people coming together, we want to build a private railway line, and they come up with a budget, which of course is money coming from the people and our money, which is supposed to be allocated for other things, including even that railway, where you can make it easy for people to travel using the train and all that. Why would we be having a group of politicians coming together with our funds, talking about privatizing a railway? If this is not about extraction, again, help me figure. But 55 billion, that was the initial budget. And if you look at actually the distance they were to cover, that's a huge distance. But we had the Uhuru Ruto regime that was during Uhuru Kenyatta being a president. They came up with a whole new project, and the budget was said to be 500 billion. So far, I hope we're good with that video and how he's explaining it. So listen to how the Kenyans actually paid back this money, because we borrowed from China. China said they're going to come cover this amount, 90%, and the 10% is going to be coming from who? The citizens. How much did we pay?
That's the Chinese debt. Say we are going to loan the Kenya government a total of 90% of that money. So Kenyans, you must raise 10%. 10% of 500 is 50 billion shillings. So us from our hard-earned taxes must pay 10%, before they pay the 90%. So we did an audit of these amounts. Did the Chinese give us all the money that they said? Yes, they did. They gave all the money. It was paid directly to China Road and Bridge Company. So did Kenyans raise the 50 billion, which was 10% of 500, and did they contribute their share of 10%? We did the sums, right? And it's called self-raising finance, SGR grant from the Treasury. So 50 billion was supposed to move from Treasury to Kenya Railways and then to the contractor called China Road and Bridge. So we just did the math. It was not 50 billion that was paid. It was 644 billion shillings.
So Kenyans paid 644 billion Kenyan shillings. Where is the money? That's the question. Because collecting taxes, which is 10%, which is going to be 50 billion, then you look at the amount they collected. Where is the money? Because we still actually, we are in debt. This is why they are now having negotiations. Back to this. This is now Kenya why they're having negotiation with China to move the loan and extend the limit and the deadline till 2040. Man, we're really dealing with scammers. For real, for real. So where's the money? That's the question. If we didn't pay back the loan, where's the money? Because you're raising taxes upon citizens for you to cover this and this and this, or and then when you took the loan, of course I get it. When you took the loan, you say this is what you're gonna do. This is what the money is gonna be used for, this and this. But the Kenyans paid, the citizens pay back the taxes we've raised, but we're still being owed. Something is not making sense. Something is not really adding up completely.
So we paid for it with our own money and even more. And yet we took a loan and we are paying back that loan. China Road and Bridge for the building of SGR from Mombasa to Naivasha was paid a total of almost 1.2 trillion for a project of 500 billion, according to the contract documents. So 700 billion above what was required. That is a frightening fact.
You see, every wave of change comes with its own set of contradictions. So during independence, everyone thought that independence was a quick fix panacea. And so they absconded their duty to hold the government, in check. Even the freedom fighters now, they were being killed one by one. There was a genocide, silent genocide. The people who tried to speak, Tom Mboya, J.M. Karaoke, they were being assassinated during that time. The Moi era also, a lot of people were killed, Robert Ouko, whatnot. So it is all because of the people. These things happen because the vast majority of people choose to keep quiet or choose to side with the oppressor. And remember, we have come to see that when the oppression does not affect somebody, they are more than happy to turn a blind eye on it, which is why our civil society has almost like collapsed ever since the Uhuru presidency to now. The civil society, the church, everyone has absconded their duty. And so now when they are affected, like now we saw the churches have started, but they're not coming out. They're not saying that this government is corrupt. No, they are coming out and then they are looking like, it's almost like they want to be called to the table, you see. But as long as we have, a greater majority.
It's given like you're calling oppression, but it's because it's not serving you. So, and because, you also understand the tactics. When you do this, they invite you to the table. You have a discussion. They give you some few change. Then now you feel important. Now you can shit on everyone.
Of Kenyans who are discussing on social media on these new apps, then we are making progress, and we will put to task all the celebrities who endorsed corrupt individuals. Everyone who made a wrong call during the last election has to bear some element of responsibility. Yeah, you cannot be there like now we are seeing Uhuru trying to rebrand, trying to repolish himself. Everyone is now trying to revise, saying that now he's the angel. They are exploiting every shortcoming of this regime. However irredeemably corrupt the William Ruto government is, we will not be lectured by the Uhuru people or Uhuru propagandists. No. Today, I took some time just to tell people what happened with the SGR and to make comparisons, and I used the Morocco SGR. And we were talking about the Morocco, they embarked on an identical project. When Kenya was doing the SGR, the Nairobi-Mombasa SGR, Morocco were embarking on something called the Casablanca-Tangier. It is a 323-kilometer line, which is dual track. It is dual track and it is electric. And the carriages are modern. They are like the ones you see in Europe. While in Kenya, it's 440 kilometers, where you have, it's not electric, it's a diesel engine. Maximum speed of the Kenyan SGR is 120 kph. The Morocco one is 320 kph. So why were we investing probably half of our GDP? Because now here is the other koso that the Kenyatta family played on us, is that the Morocco, with all those facilities and amenities and modernization and speed, their SGR or their train project cost $1.8 billion. The Kenyan one went to $3.2 billion. And you can see it's just a shithole. You get to the Syokimau. And first of all, don't forget that this train, you start at Syokimau. Syokimau is not in Nairobi. And then you get to Miritini. Miritini is not in Mombasa. If you move with somebody, like now, if you live in Kilimani, and then you start your journey driving, and then the other person takes an Uber to go to the station and to connect, and then to get to where the guy who is driving will get to Mombasa CBD faster than the guy who took the SGR. So this was the biggest waste of time. If you look at the benches, they are upright. First of all, when you're driving in there are big potholes, and then there are extortionist police who are just harassing Uber drivers and whatnot. And then you get there, you are searched. You'd think like you're going to get into the Eurotunnel, the one that goes below the English Channel. You'd think it is that level, but it's just a taka, these refurbished trains. And then now here is the scam. The management company that handles the SGR is a combination of some Chinese oversight overlords, and then now local cartels. Obviously, the Kenyatta family criminal enterprise, they are there. And then
of course, remember, just to pause on that, remember these people we've just discovered this year that the expressway belongs to the Kenyattas. And Kenyans are paying taxes to pay the loan. This is crazy.
They've been posting losses, and so government has been bridging the deficit. So it's almost like how KQ was in a constant cycle of debt. So even these ones, they are inducing. So there's no incentive for them to bring good carriages, to bring good machines, which are fast, which can seat people. Them, they only want to stick to a schedule of 3 trains, 3 trains every day. While in Europe, there is a train every 30 minutes, every 20 minutes, there is a train going to whichever respective town that you're going to. Here, they only for a route or a line with a lot of traffic, they want to maintain 3, and then they want to delay you there. You have dogs searching you. You'd think that you're entering in heaven. Then they have some other NYS chokoras there who are just harassing you, and policemen there. So, but they are doing this. Is the mentality I am telling you of boomers. They know they will never use that. Uhuru and his fucked up brother Mohoho, they know they'll never use that. So these peasants are using it. So we'd rather get them the lowest of the low. And because I told you these guys are Muzungus, they are Muzungus trapped in a black body.
Exactly.
So they think about us as if they are our overlords. They are our, what can we say? They are royal family. You see,
they have literally, like, it's like they have the European behaviors in them. I keep on questioning, how is it that these people don't have consciousness, the African consciousness? Like, this is wrong. How do you just genocide people and that's okay with you? How do you just see people living in poverty and that's okay with you? And every day you're going there to preach a better life, which you know very well it's a scam. You're not supposed to do it. You're not going to do it because that is what's supposed to keep you in power. Every time you're going to give people hope, because people like hoping. We actually people of hopes. I hope we will. Give me 10 years. Give me a scam. A whole scam. Big scam.
because you gave them that impression. The stupid people who are calling Uhuru Mudhamaki, they gave him the impression that he's the ruler of all life, because even now we are still seeing him dominating the media space. You'd think that this guy is in active politics, or he's going to be in the ballot in 2027, but every day he has to be in the media one way or another. Why is he crowding our media? Why is he still in denial that he has retired? Nobody has time for his bullshit. And then don't forget that this game they are playing us. I told you these are correct.
Exactly. Telling us, oh, if you wait to be the leaders of tomorrow, tomorrow will never come. You're the leaders of today. Why didn't you tell us that when you were president? Why didn't you preach that? Why didn't you act like that?
Corruption relay, where this one leaves the baton to this one. This other one continues with the corruption cartel. Uhuru never demolished. He never demolished anything for Ruto, despite threatening. He kept threatening, I'm going to demolish Western. No, but he kept demolishing. Remember, every Friday, there was that caterpillar. There was that Sunny machinery, which was going to demolish people's houses. He demolished other people's houses, not William Ruto. And then they engage in a mock cockfight in the media. And so now, and then don't forget, Uhuru is the one who collapsed all checks and balances of the government. He collapsed the judiciary. He turned parliament into, these guys were turned into lame ducks. They were just being bribed in the toilet. And then you remember even last year, they passed last minute laws together with Njay Muturi. They crafted laws to block other presidential candidates. Because if these other presidential, if Ruben Kigame was on the ballot, if Jimmy Wanjigi was on the ballot, probably William Ruto would not have won with the 200,000 margin that he did. You see, but these laws were made last minute by Uhuru. What was he doing? He was doing it to pave the way for somebody of his preference. So, and then they spend the next 5 years firefighting, mock cockfight, shadow boxing, taking us as if we are fools. But as we know better, we know that Uhuru turned a blind eye on Ruto's corruption, and now even Ruto will not dare touch him. Now,
of course, it's always the blame game cards. Always the blame game cards. Those cards, they know how to shuffle them very well. Very, very well.
Did you guys listen to yesterday's spaces hosted by Amerix and digest what Jimmy Wanjigi was saying about our current public debt? If you did, you will agree with me, man, that we don't have a country here, and that some people who are our leaders, they are thugs, and they should rot somewhere in committee. So I'll break down what he said, and particularly major on the SGR deal. So according to Jimmy Wanjigi, the SGR deal was formulated in Kibaki's government, and that deal was supposed to be a PPP, to mean that both the public and the private partners were to contribute for the construction of the SGR.
Mm-hmm.
So the total estimated cost for the SGR was supposed to be about 500 billion. And when the Uhuru Ruto government came to power, together with their surrogates in treasury, that is Kina Kamau Thuge, Njuguna Ndung'u, Henry Rotich, they decided that it was time for them to make bank. They inflated the total cost of the SGR such that the whole project was constructed using about 1.3 trillion.
And what do we have? Some shitty-ass, slow-ass moving SGR of a train. It's very slow. Most of the people have complained about, I've not used SGR, but I'm taking literally from the comments I've heard from most of the people. It's very slow, super slow.
Project that was supposed to cost 500 billion was overdrafted by 750 billion. Think about that money for a second, Manze. Do you think that money is kidogo, Manze? That money could have done a lot of things right now.
Exactly.
We're talking about teachers who need to be employed.
Exactly. These people are just stealing funds. We've just seen 7 billion being stolen every day, and what that accumulates to in a year, how much we can use these funds, what we can use them for, but they won't do it. But that is the position Kenya is standing right now. Not only can we borrow, we can no longer ask for loans anymore, but we've reached to a point where we have to actually even negotiate the debts we have so we can be given a time, given some time so we can be able to see how we can do this. But better, it's the people who suffer the most. But moving away from that, We have Ibrahim Traoré, and I have a couple of videos I want to share about this. We've seen Nigeria issuing a formal apology to Burkina Faso. That was yesterday over the airspace violation. So let's look at this. And then I have another video. Remember in 2023, 2022, where Nana Akufo-Addo and other African leaders who gathered together literally to talk about how they can destabilize Burkina Faso because they didn't like the movement that they were making.
Nigeria has officially apologized to Burkina Faso for the incursion of a Nigerian military aircraft into the Alliance of Sahel States airspace. On Wednesday, Nigerian Foreign Minister Yusuf Maitama Tuggar was received by Captain Ibrahim Traoré in Ouagadougou, where he conveyed Abuja's apology to Burkinabe authorities and the people. The incident had earlier been denounced in a joint statement by the Sahel member states. It is regrettable that there were irregularities in the documents, particularly with regards to authorization to fly over Burkinabe airspace. This is unfortunate, and we apologize for this regrettable incident. We also discussed the case of a leader of a Nigerian political party who has made disparaging comments about this incident, which is...
It's giving a playing victim for me. It's giving someone playing a victim now because they're being caught. Of course, Burkina Faso has made it very clear, not just Burkina Faso, but the Alliance Sahel State. They made it very clear. Whatever they're doing, preparations they're making, they won't allow any sort of invasion, and they're ready. They're ready. I'm going to share a video which actually say they're ready, literally. He said, you dare. I think Keith had watched the video before me, but I saw it yesterday. Like, you dare. We prepared militarily. Fuck around and find out. Fuck around and find out.
Undoubtedly linked to misunderstanding of the situation, carrying a message of solidarity and cooperation.
This is all just for the media. This is just for, again, for people, because they know the people are also watching, for people to think Nigeria didn't know anything about this. Let's not forget Nigeria just received an aircraft from America. All right, for what? We're gonna get to that. Before we get to that, listen to this. Remember these videos where we
So, Mr. Secretary, thank you very much. Today, Russian mercenaries are on our northern border. Burkina Faso has now entered into an arrangement to go along with Mali in employing the Wagner forces there. Prime Minister of Burkina Faso in the last 10 days has been in Moscow. And to have them operating on our northern border is particularly distressing for us in Ghana. We really like to have a privileged opportunity to talk about its implications, to what extent we can have you as a partner in confronting these threats.
This is crazy. This is super, super crazy. These are the same people, we want to collaborate. I'm not trusting no John Mahama at all. Again, just talking, they always have things to say because people, again, are watching. People can see what the Alliance Sahel State is doing. And you have to come try justify your actions so that people won't go attacking you. People won't call out your name. The games are over. That time is so out. Tap out. Completely. Tap out.
And therefore, it's important that we bring that matter to your notice and see to what extent we can engage you as a reliable partner in the pushback of those forces.
He's a boot-licking ass man, like for real. This is so crazy that we have these men as our leaders of Africa. It's so disgusting. What is distressing, Nana Akufo-Addo, it's what? It's you being leaders of Africa because you're disgusting. That is what is distressing. Not Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso is actually doing amazing. The most distressing thing is having you bootlickers as leaders. For real.
A viral video featuring Ghana's President Nana Akufo-Addo is gaining traction online as it shows him complaining about his neighboring countries to the U.S. during a high-level meeting with the United States Secretary of State. In the video, it seems that he is urging the U.S. to intervene in countries such as Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, due to their increasing ties with Russia. Let's watch the said video and share our thoughts on the implications in the comments below.
done everything.
First of all, I'm leading a delegation sent here by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Where are those our brothers and sisters from Nigeria who were moving about platform to platform, blabbing, and blabbing, oh, Nigeria is a superpower, or they are going to crush the AES, and so on and so forth. Did you hear what the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Nigeria said? That they were deployed by the President of Nigeria, Tinubu, to go to Burkina Faso and beg. They went there to humble themselves, to climb down from their high horse and do the needful. That is what was supposed to be done from day one. But do you know what they try to do? Give a sovereign country 24 hours to release people you sent to go and commit treason, crime. At least we thank God that now they are.
I don't think they were given a time limit. I've not seen anywhere about time limitation where Burkina Faso was supposed to, within 24 hours, release those people. They willingly did. They willingly did. I've not seen anywhere, oh, Nigeria, no. So stop spreading false rumors.
Beginning to come to their senses. In the minister's speech yesterday, he made it very clear that they are publicly apologizing to the entire public and to the government of Burkina Faso, to the people of Burkina Faso for the inconsistency. They were crisscrossing their airspace without any authorization because they thought that they are the giant of Africa. It doesn't work like that. If you want respect, you need to give respect to those you also want them to respect you. He apologized for that. He went as far as apologizing on behalf of that member of parliament who openly said they were going to go to war against Burkina Faso. He publicly apologized for that as well. And you see here, when we said they breached their airspace, people said, oh, the plane. The government finally came back to bow down to the truth. You cannot keep lying.
Bow down, yeah. But let's not forget again, this country just received an aircraft. They made history. Remember, it was Nigeria just made history by receiving the most amazing fighting jet. For what? That's the question. So let's stop bluffing. This apology is just for the media, for the people who do not understand what is happening. The real deal is that the war is on. They want Burkina Faso back, they want Niger back, and they want Mali back. Why do you think actually the US was removed this country or put this country one among the countries that are facing the travel ban? Huh? Why? What? Sometimes, please, Africans, if you understand, we want to make content so bad. I understand you want to pass a message, but please collect your data very correctly. Understand what you're saying. Be informed before you come. I mean, understand even the patterns. Not even, please just trace the patterns. Go back to history. See how other countries have been used they have used the same tactics to actually capture leaders that were doing something for their country. From Patrice Lumumba to the rest, literally, there's always a pattern. There's always something or someone who's always following up. Of course, right now, people know Nigeria is actually helping France to destabilize the Alliance of Sahel States. So and after being publicly captured and understand that right now we have the Alliance of Sahel State controlling also its information. There's no propaganda being spread by these other medias. Whatever is coming from the country, that's it. You post it or you leave it. Literally. So let's get the facts. Nigeria did something.
In order to be good friends. You know, sometimes in life, in order to be good friends, you need to go through the process of fighting. Yeah. Sometimes you need to tell each other things properly so you can start respecting each other. Sometimes in life, you need to tell people to speak to you appropriately so they can actually learn how to treat you with respect. Yeah. I don't think respect always comes naturally. I think respect sometimes has to be forced. Will Nigeria become a big problem in West Africa? Will Nigeria become a big problem in West Africa and then to Africa? A Nigerian senator has just suggested, with regard to the airplane that's been stopped in Burkina Faso, remember, a couple of days ago, that the Nigerian government should consider military actions against Burkina Faso. So he's basically saying our airplane that's been stopped in Burkina Faso for traveling without an authorization, a Urcal 190C that's been grounded by the Burkina Faso government, should be freed immediately, or else Nigeria should consider a possibility of military action. So that means Nigeria should engage military personnel and go and create havoc or fight Burkina Faso militarily so they can get the airplane back and the soldiers back. Now, this is very interesting because he even mentioned raid on Entebbe. You've heard of that? Raid on Entebbe. Entebbe is a city in Uganda. The raid on Entebbe happened in 1976, where basically an airplane flying from Israel to Paris, I think it was Air France airplane, was hijacked by Palestinians and German Palestinians. The airplane, I think, had about 200 people on board, and it was diverted from their initial itinerary all the way back to Uganda. You can see on the map, this is Israel, and this is France. It was supposed to go from Israel to France. It was diverted from Israel all the way to Uganda. And you remember back in time, President of Uganda, Idi Amin Dada, at the time, wasn't a very good friend of the Israelis. And the airplane went to Uganda, was grounded with many military. What Israel did at the time was they sent commandos. Yeah, they sent commandos. I think about 200 soldiers flew with 4 airplanes. They went to Uganda at Entebbe airport. They executed very swiftly, killing about 45 Ugandan soldiers and taking all hostages back in the airplane and destroyed the Uganda being chased in the air. They destroyed the airplane of Uganda Air Force, jumped in the airplane and flew back. But during that mission that was led by Yoni Netanyahu was the brother of Benjamin Netanyahu, who's currently the Prime Minister of Israel. He was the leader of that action that was done. It was called Operation Thunderbolt. Yoni Netanyahu, who led this operation, was killed in Uganda. Now, this is exactly what the senator from Nigeria is suggesting. His name is Adeyole Arise. Adeyole Arise suggests that Nigeria goes to Burkina Faso and replicate raid on Entebbe, which was done by professional soldiers, doing things that are extraordinary. They flew under the radar, low altitude, all the way from Israel to Uganda, executing, taking the hostages, killing all the hostage taker and flying back to home. So this is exactly what they're suggesting. Why is this happening right now? On December 8, 2025, a C-30 aeroplane was on a ferry mission route from Lagos to Portugal, as per the Nigerians. So a Nigerian aeroplane flying from Lagos. Look at Lagos on the map. The flight took off from Lagos. You see Lagos? Okay. And it was going supposedly all the way to Portugal for a ferry flight. A ferry flight is a courtesy flight for maintenance purpose sometimes. Now, the flight went from Lagos and was forced to be grounded around Bobo Dioulasso. Look at this. This is Bobo Dioulasso. So the flight was supposedly leaving Lagos, Nigeria, going to Lisbon in Portugal. This is what Nigeria says, but was grounded around Bobo Dioulasso. That's where the Burkina Faso force asked them to land. You land or we destroy you. They landed. 11 soldiers or personnel were arrested with that. Now, the Nigerians say that the flight was going to Lisbon. It wasn't going to Burkina Faso. Did not enter illegally in the airspace of Burkina Faso. Well, it's very simple. If you're going to Lisbon and you and the neighbor don't get along, you can either take an alternative route. Okay, so you have all the way, look at the map. You can go from Nigeria going east, perhaps. You can go via Chad. You can go all that way. Or you can go via perhaps Benin, Togo, Ghana, and Cote d'Ivoire and go.
We had no borders. They still don't exist. These are just lines drawn on the map. So yes, I can go to whatever country through whichever country. Like, please.
All the way. If you can't do that, then you can nicely ask a country you don't speak to or you don't cooperate with because you decided not to cooperate with them. Let me just remind you here that Nigeria closed its airspace to IOS. IOS is these 3 countries, Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger. when they decided to disengage with French and be disallowed from ECOWAS. When they say we don't want to deal with the French anymore, Nigeria say our airspace is blocked. You cannot use it anymore. But on the other hand, Nigeria Air Force flights supposedly flying to Lisbon in Portugal, as you can see, flew all the way through Burkina Faso and was stopped in Bobo Dioulasso. Look at the distance. This is Lagos. This is Bobo Dioulasso. This is Lagos. Now they say an airplane, this is Nigeria saying, an airplane that just left, after a short departure, experienced technical issues and was forced to land in Bobo Dioulasso. Look at the map again. Does this look like a short departure? Does this look like a short flight? It's not a short flight. It's a very long flight. Now, let me remind you that a night before that, Nigeria had assisted Benin to push out, insurgency, people that were trying to overtake the government. Nigeria helped Benin to kick them up by bombing those positions.
Exactly.
Now, the very next day, Nigerian airplane finding itself into the airspace of Burkina Faso. Many people think Nigeria perhaps was doing spying. Some people believe Nigeria was maybe throwing things, because in that specific area, Bobo Dioulasso is an area where many terrorists are located. And oh
my God, look at all that. Oh my goodness. There are a lot of terrorists. Oh my God. But they've been warned. Ibrahim Traoré has warned them. You either quit being a jihadist, a pirate, a bandit, whatever you call yourself, or you're going to be executed.
People suggest, could it be perhaps that the word throwing things, ammunition, food, whatever it is to those people?
This is so crazy. Use the same people to destabilize. Oh my God, this is so crazy.
People, question mark, we don't know.
What?
Because the bottom line is they don't get along. We remember.
And if you look, all of them have so remember we had some time back where we had some jihadists who are caught with the Burkinabe uniform and they managed to kill a couple of soldiers who are Burkinabe soldiers, literally. So look at all these people. They have, not only are they given weapons, they have transport, which is the bikes, and they have the uniforms. This is crazy, and there's so many.
But Nigeria commander was one of the persons that said, we are ready.
We must ensure that decisions taken here today are not mere rhetorics, but are transformed into tangible actions on the ground.
We are ready to attack Niger. You see Niger here? We are ready to attack Niger. When Niger toppled the president and wanted to be free and work for the African people and stop working for the Europeans. Nigeria commander said, we are ready to go in action. We are ready to go to war. They didn't do it for one reason, because in Burkina Faso said, if you dare go to Niger, create havoc, you're going to declare war against us.
Avertissent que toute intervention militaire
warn that any military intervention against Niger would amount to a declaration of war against Burkina Faso and Mali.
Now, Niger has accused Nigeria numerous times of working with the French to install terrorism in the area. This is what the senators say. Nigeria should not rule out military action to show strength and deter neighbors from toying with our country. He says, I acknowledge that Nigeria's forces are busy with insurgency, but insisted on firm posture against Burkina Faso. So what we're saying is this: Nigeria is going through a lot of issues in terrorism, insurgency, banditry, people hijacking people.
These people should be more focused on how they can take control of their own oil, empower your people, get rid of the sewages, at least stabilize your country in one way or another, but no more focused about what other countries are doing, because they're not stealing like you. They're not helping the white man spread the molars the way he wants to, like you do. This is so crazy. But sadly, this is what we have with Africa. From Kenya, you can see literally all the continent. The only 3 countries we have, doing 4 actually, had Namibia on the list. They have not yet officially made the movement of joining the Alliance of Sahel States, but they have made it very clear. We're not going to take no orders from anyone, no more stealing of our resources, no bullshit. And if you feel like you can't serve the people, you better quit right now, because you're going to end up in prison. If you've caught up in any corruption case or file, it's going to be over for you. So this is just so crazy, man. This is embarrassing. Very embarrassing. Karibu sana, kid.
Sandy Sana, Joe, how are you this morning?
I'm I'm great. You're late. Where have you been? Taking
I
some
know you.
pizza.
I didn't know you was live. Shit.
You're taking some pizza sauce, or what were you doing?
No, no joke. Just driving. I didn't know you was live yet.
Okay, all right.
We're taking people, by abducting people.
Talking about Nigeria issuing an apology to Burkina Faso. And personally,
They
I'm
did what?
saying,
What they did? They gave an apology.
yeah, Nigeria issuing an apology to Burkina Faso over the airspace violation. And
Yeah,
remember,
there's no apology. Your people will be put to death, or they will serve life imprisonment. You ain't got to say you were spying for the French, and ain't that funny? Now the goopy Ruto allowed the French military to come into Kenya. It said now the French military will have immunity of law in Kenya. What the fuck are the French military doing in Kenya? I told you, these are puppets. So they can't fight no terrorists in Nigeria and all this crazy shit going on, but they can fight Benin when they try to get rid of it, because Nigerians are puppet. The whole country are ass kissers. They're white ass kissers. They're worthless. So I told you, all that foolish shit, giants of Africa, you got your fucking, this one backward, ridiculous, goofy ass. Now it's not really a country. It's just a amalgamation of goofy tribes that run around doing shit. It's almost like Somalia. It's worse. So, no, you keep your apology, and if you invade, we'll break your motherfucking back. And all these people that you brought in here illegally, they will either be executed or life in prison. That's what he told you guys, and I agree with it. I think they should be executed. Execute their ass. Told you, Africa's the only continent, black part, that no one has any consequences or any accountability. Everybody gets to just do shit. Don't ever shit ever happen. Now we're gonna have consequences. You're getting executed. Okay, we're gonna say, finally, African men are gonna grow up and be men. I'm executing your ass, and I'm gonna do it on TV. So Burkina Faso and all Nigeria can see when you fuck around, you will find out. Well, the thing of white people controlling us and doing what they want to do, that's over.
Well, what they did yesterday, they released all of the 11 military personnel from Nigeria. So they're not going
they should never release them. See, that shows weakness, shows cowardice. Never do that. Africans still haven't learned. See, would the white people release African spies? No, they kill their ass. You still haven't learned warfare. Still haven't learned war? I don't know what to tell you. You still haven't learned it. I don't know what to tell you. Till you learn war, you'll always be fucked in the ass. Okay? Till you learn war. Nigeria is a backward ass country. You can break it up. There's no unity. It's just they can't even get the damn people run around kidnapping women in their own country. And goddamn insurgents run around Boko Haram and all. What? Go and break their back.
I think for me, looking at again, this is strategy. And shout out to Ibrahim Traoré. I'm trying to get into his head and why he did this, because you understand currently it's not just an attack on Burkina Faso, it's on the 3 Alliance Sahel State countries, Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali. So you don't want to do anything that is going to put the people of their lives, people in danger, because it's taken, listen to me, it's taken so much time and strength for them to at least put the country in that peace.
Okay. Yeah.
Currently, and you don't want to bring, because people have already experienced, peace is. We've trusted you to take control. You're trying to build a strong military base. I feel like looking at his thoughts is, I don't want to start this war. All they did is violate the airspace. They didn't kill anyone. No, any civilian has died. So because Nigeria is openly demanding, wanting to start a war with Burkina Faso, let them be the one to start. Then from there, we can actually now, we can take actions. I feel like what he's trying to do, because listen.
I'm listening to you. You don't allow the people. You don't. I'm listening to you, Joby. You don't understand military tactics. You don't allow no one to wage war against you. Ever. You don't sit back and wait for somebody to wage war on you. Now you're in the defensive posture. You never do that. They've already declared that they're going to do war on you. You don't be in the defensive. You prepare for war. You pray for peace. You pray for peace, Joby, but you prepare for war because they've already put it out there. And then you always study your enemy. Nigeria is a bankrupt, goddamn white ass kissing what I'm looking for schizophrenic country. It's not a real country. So I know your people have been fighting insurgency, but so what? War is war.
I feel like Burkina Faso, the Alliance of Sahel States, as a whole, is really ready, prepared for war at this point, and understand they have the support from Russia, right? And we talked about even the other day about how Russia military weapons are the best globally, literally. So we had the US giving Nigeria making history. It's crazy. They made history by receiving a fighting jet. The question is, for what? Are you fighting?
Exactly. Because me is even. I know that me having common sense, Joe. They're not going to stop. White people don't stop, Joe. You think, oh, well, give them away and we'll just have some peace. White people don't stop, Joby.
I feel like again, if we did it, if you were to execute these 11 soldiers, what would have happened? Remember, we have the US looking, we have France, we have all of these so-called cooperation countries that have always been stealing. Looking, and they all want war, of course, on the Alliance of Sahel States.
War's coming anyway.
Listen, if you start, it's like, let me ask you, when you're on a war, right? You didn't go stepping on bombs and you know there's a bomb right there. You know you're gonna get killed, right? You have to have a strategy on how you're gonna walk and maybe remove that bomb, or just gonna walk towards it. I feel like that is what Burkina Faso is trying to do. They've already, again, you look at how other countries have tackled these issues. Is it you starting or acting like, oh, now I'm the African giant?
I'm not trying to start. I'm not trying to start a war. War is coming. That's why the Nigerians were there.
Let it come now. I feel like that is where he is right now.
I'm not gonna let you invade me.
That's not.
You don't let nobody invade you.
That's you.
Then you lost the war. Then. If you let somebody, what do you think America did to Iraq? Again, we invaded their ass, destroyed them. You don't let nobody invade you. Talking about, oh, we can make peace. Let's talk. They're already in their mind that they want war. It's like they're trying to make war with Venezuela, trying to invade Venezuela. You don't get ready to let nobody invade you.
I don't feel they're turning a blind eye on this. They're, of course, very much watchful.
They can't turn a blind eye on. I know. But they shouldn't. I'm not letting nobody go.
You don't want to put the civilians' lives back in danger.
They're already in danger. The people have declared war on them. You keep talking about don't put the people in. I do have a strategy. It's to attack. I always said I'm gonna see what they're gonna do. I'm gonna kill their people. That's the strategy. Then see what Nigeria does about it. Nigeria is blistered. Nigeria doesn't have no real military and no real military power. I'm killing these motherfuckers for invading my space and doing espionage again. Look this up, Joby. Look this up. I want you to look this up. What is the penalty of espionage? Ask Google. What is the penalty of espionage? It's gonna be life in prison or death.
Espionage.
What does it say?
Yes, you said espionage.
Espionage. Yeah, espionage. What is the price? What is the penalty for espionage?
Based on the research result, it's a prominent figure. No, they're giving something different. Somebody write the names.
I spell espionage. ESP. Ask Google how you spell espionage. Can you get it right? I spell espionage. I don't know how to spell it. Like a French word or some shit. It don't spell like an English word. Espionage is like a French word. Espionage.
Penalties for espionage are extremely severe, ranging
Yeah,
from
it's severely severe. It ain't let nobody go. Only African morons do that with the strategy. It's severe. They would know they were committing espionage, Joby. He's a fact. But go ahead and read it. You go ahead and read it. You go ahead and read it.
penalties for espionage are extremely severe, ranging from lengthy prison sentences, often decades, potentially life to the death
Life to death.
the country. And the severe of the act is an example of wartime versus peacetime. The information involved in specific laws like the U.S. Espionage Act 1917. Convicted spies face imprisonment, fines, loss of reputation, and in some cases can be subjected to spy swaps for diplomatic resolution. Well, yep, that's it. That's what.
Life imprisonment or death. You don't get to say, I get to go. Thank you. Thank you. I always with goofy niggas. Thank you. I commit espionage and do all kind of wicked shit. I get to go back home. Yay. Nothing's done. But great strategy.
Well, it should, because all the time it's again, and I feel this is the strategy. Don't shuffle the cards the same way the way they have always been doing. They have a war coming to you. It's not like you don't have a plan, or you're just gonna sit there wait for them to bomb you. Then you start looking for the weapons now.
What about the people? They're already about to wage war on these people.
It's just that they don't see it coming because maybe they are.
You tell your people. You tell your people. Hey, as a leader, you tell your people. Hey, get ready for war.
Okay, that's what happened. I'm literally on the same face with Ibrahim Traoré. You don't go announcing your plans, okay? Let them come face. Let them come face. Don't go announcing your plans like the way France and the US is doing.
That's not a plan.
We're gonna kill you. Oh, okay. We know your strategy now. Do you know ours? Do you know mine? Do you know the plan I have?
I don't give a fuck about your plan. I'm gonna invade you and kill your people and take you back over. I don't care about your plan.
It's gonna work. That plan is going to work. And going to save
Joby sound like Iraq. When America said, I want you to put some footage real quick. We're gonna put footage. Go to YouTube when America told Iraq, we're gonna invade your ass. We're gonna bomb you and we're gonna take over the country. Iraq was like, what? Yeah. We're gonna take over your fucking country. It ain't shit you're gonna do with it.
It's okay. We don't need to pull the footage. Don't use the same tactics they have always used on you. Have a strategy. This one has come this far actually because he's always had a strategy. That's the difference with the other coups. Oh, we have now this one taking over is a Pan-African. Kaboom. Deleted and gone.
The strategy is to kill. The strategy, Joby, is to act accordingly when somebody does espionage to try to overthrow and unstable you. Okay, Joby, do you understand what espionage is?
I do.
So espionage is spying. They went in there to collect information on Burkina Faso's military and battle arrangement, so they would be easier for invasion or overthrowing. That's why they were there, Joby. They went there to say, hey, Burkina Faso people, how you doing today? Are you okay? Is life good? No.
Believe on the strategy, then you're gonna come tell me, oh, Joby, you are right. Let's watch.
That was no war, hey.
As we wind up, shout out to John Mosquito, shout out to Sister Sinovia. Nice to see you today. John Mosquito says Nigeria will still wants to go to war with
exactly. They still. Because the French and the white man said, yeah, you're still going to go to war with these niggas. And common sense will let you know that. So why should I spare their people for being goddamn, these people that you tell me, they waging war on my innocent people that you say. These people are waging war against my people, Joby. They're waging war on me. Some folks to kill their ass. Not let them go back home and eat their damn jollof rice with their family.
Strategy, kid. You see,
What's the strategy? Give me your strategy. Go ahead.
I was trying to explain to someone yesterday, at the same time with Kamlesh, how personally it's easy for me to attack someone, on a blow. When you want to fight someone who has always been disrespecting you, don't go doing like this, okay? Just say, let them argue. You say what? Then boom on the face, all right? Don't let them see the moment you do this, you're already guarded. They're like, she wants to fight. But don't let them see the plan you already have. Then break the nose. God damn it.
You're talking about personal fights with war.
No, you have a strategy. You must have a strategy.
That's my strategy. My strategy is to kill these. Okay, let me tell you what this does. Let me explain this to you. Wait, let me explain this to you. Since Africans are weak, Joby, they haven't had no consequences. So if I kill these people, it dulls the mind. It said, this is real. Now we're talking about real. It dulls the mind. Nigerians are cowards, Joby. So Africans are cowards. They never have accountability. So me killing these people, they're like, whoa, shit. Burkina Faso means business. That's the strategy. You put fear in people, Joby. Fear. You understand fear with war? You put fear in your enemy. You now gave them fear. I'm not fucking around with you. You now because nobody kill. Africans don't kill it. They was like, oh, que busana. Let's not kill. Let's be nice. No, I'm killing you motherfuckers right now. So that puts fear. That puts fear in the goopy, ununified Nigerian army. There's no unity in that goopy army. Once Igbo, Hausa, all that goopy shit. There's no unity there. So I now put fear. So they know if Burkina Faso catches us, we're going to be murdered. That's right. That's fear. You got to understand more strategy, tactics. You put fear in your enemy. That's what you do. You break them back, you give them that. Well, okay, since you want to know some drama, this is mandatory for you over the holidays. I want you to do this. I want you to go to our Audible account, and I want you to go get the book Sun Tzu, The Art of War, because everything you said is out of balance. I want you. This is mandatory for you, Joby. You gotta just listen. Amazon account, Audible, and it's free. You're gonna type in the book, The Art of War, which all militaries use. Sun Tzu's Art of War. And I want you to listen to the whole book. It's only an hour, like 35 minutes.
Okay.
So you understand the art of war.
I'll do that. But being an African, I don't want to start war like that. I'm full of love.
I want you to, I'm not asking you to start. I want you to listen.
I'm being Ibrahim Traoré. I'm talking as Ibrahim Traoré, not as Joby, actually.
That's not going to start the war. They're not going to invade them because they kill the people. Nigeria's a coward's country. Country full of cowards. For me, killing them, that's sending a message to them. We're not fucking around with you people. You're not going to be able to say, I'm sorry, as you commit espionage against me.
Sister Sinovia says Nigeria is a sellout. John Moscow says peace, love, and blessings to Sinovia. Okay. And shout to George Guy. Nice to see you this morning. Keith was talking shit about Jamaicans, just to let you know. John Mosquito says
When was that? Get out of here. Get out of here.
I'm talking, but I also see I'm not chewing no gum. I was eating fries, so sorry, John Mosquito.
Is that your strategy, Joby, to throw me under the bus? That's your strategy?
Never. I won't be taking from Kamlesh, no thanks. And, I also see John says fear is a weapon, of course. And shout out to everyone who has literally been with us today. Shout out to everyone who is here this morning. I see 10 of you in this chat.
Exactly. Fear is a weapon. You understand fear. Our fear immobilizes the person. That's why I'm going to get, and when she come back, she better quote that book to me, The Art of War.
I will.
Understand?
I will. Trust me, I will. But much love, family. Have yourselves a beautiful day. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been the Pan African Biz. Catch up with Wharton coming back next and see what she's going to be talking about. And literally, this is our last show. So ensure you turn up, tune in, and let's.
They'll be gone, guys, for 2 weeks until January the 5th. So they'll be on their Christmas holiday break.
Period. So join in and literally engage with us and let us know what you loved, what you didn't like, and all that. So have yourselves a beautiful day.